Hello, Camp Quarantine. Happy Friday. Today is Friday, May the 7th. We're so excited that you guys could join us here. On today's show, we are starting out with a small business spotlight with a wonderful athlete from Las Vegas, Nevada. Following up with celebrating National Tourism Day today, and ending with National Mental Health Awareness Month. It's all happening now on the 49th episode of Camp Quarantine. Grab a beverage, hit the share button. It all starts right now. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. So glad you guys could join us. For those of you joining for your first time of Camp Quarantine, this is our 49th. So hopefully this isn't your first time, but I'm your host, Amrit B with Hustle and Hospitality here in Atlanta, Georgia. Camp Quarantine. Wow, we have been at this now for over a year. It is May the 7th, and we could not be more gracious and grateful that you all have joined us and spending your Friday evening from wherever you are. We have guests from all over the country as well as the globe today. We've got Las Vegas, Florida, Australia even, and we're just so ecstatic to get started. If this is your first time, we want to know, where are you watching from? We are live, so all of your interactions are absolutely welcomed. We want to know. Drop us a line. Let us know where you're watching from. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So we're very ecstatic that you guys are here. Today, as you know, every day, if this is not your first time watching Camp Quarantine, we celebrate every single day. This is a little blurry. Let's fix that. There we go. That's better. We celebrate every day. Today happens to be National Space Day. It also happens to be National Nowhere Pants Day. So if I stand up today, maybe you guys will get a little bit more than a free show. But nevertheless, I am so ecstatic that you all are here. A little bit about Camp Quarantine. Each and every Friday, we have been at this now for 49 weeks. This is our 5th season and actually happens to be our second to last episode. That's right. Next week, Friday, May the 14th is going to be a very special extended show. We're going to be recapping all of our guests, having some favorites. We actually have one closing out the show today. But yeah, we have been celebrating the good going on in the world all during the pandemic. Of course, Camp Quarantine, we feel like, has a shelf life with the name Quarantine. So for those of you that don't know, we are going to be evolving this show after episode 50. So excited to share a little bit more about that later on in the show. But yeah, each evening, each Friday evening, we're happy to spotlight small business heroes. We've had healthcare individuals online talking about what's going on in the world across from Mexico, Dubai, Australia, as I mentioned, Ireland. We've had people from all over. So let's actually just take a look back. We've been at this for quite some time, and I know we've got a lot of new guests here. So definitely drop us a line here in the comments. Let us know where we're watching from. But let's take a look back at how far we have come. It's Friday. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday. You guys have made it. Another wonderful week. Welcome to Camp Quarantine. Welcome to our backyard. Welcome to Camp Quarantine. I'm your host, Amrit B. Appreciate it. It is May. Folks, we have lasted into 3 months. Friday, June 19th. Happy Juneteenth. Cannot say how thrilled I am to have you all here. We have an exciting slate of guests. We just wrapped on our 14th episode of Camp Quarantine. Really appreciate all those who have tuned in. Today is July the 3rd. That just blows my mind. We just cannot contain my excitement here. We have made it. So hopefully you guys are finding the good in this entire situation, and that's certainly what we're trying to bring forth here. So the good in the situation, well, if you guys have good going on, that's one thing. But we're certainly glad that a lot of folks are getting vaccinated and things are coming back to normal. But we are taking our show on the road, and we're going to get into that a little bit more later. But let's just get into our first guest. Every about 5 to 10 minutes, we have an all-new guest sharing insight on what's going on in their part of town and their part of their world, and certainly what's going on in their world. Our first guest, I'd like to chat a little bit about what she's doing kind of in the virtual space. Help me give a warm Camp Quarantine welcome to our first guest, and that is an angel, Miss Angel McCoughtry. Angel, happy Friday. How you doing?
Happy Friday. How's everything?
Things are fantastic. Now, where are you today?
I'm here in LA. Just got to LA today. We have a game tomorrow, but I'm excited to be on Camp Quarantine. What took so long?
I know what did take so long. We've been trying to get you on the show all last year, but you have such a busy schedule. If you wouldn't mind, share a little bit about how we know each other, and certainly what you've got going on in your world, which is, I know, probably going to take the entirety of the show. So if you can pare it down just a bit, you're always so busy. But yeah, Angel, you and I met actually through the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. For those of you that don't know, we have every single month been supporting different organizations. Last July, we supported the Big Brothers Big Sisters organization, which you and I are both a part of here in Metro Atlanta. But yeah, you have such a philanthropic footprint that you like to leave in all the projects that you involve yourself in. But take us through some of the things that have happened for you in the last 9 months, if you will. And I think when we talked maybe a couple hours ago, you were just in Vegas. So I don't know if you're back and forth. You have Atlanta ties. You're in Vegas. You're in Los Angeles. You're all over the place. Just share what's been going on in your world.
Yeah, so we met at Big Brothers Big Sisters, and I believe that we've been inseparable ever since. Keeping in contact, following each other on social media, things like that. And I've been in Atlanta for 10 years, so we know each other from that space. But I just recently switched teams to Las Vegas. But hey, that doesn't stop the friendship and the connections that we have.
Never.
Never. So just been working on a couple of things. The Olympics is coming up this year. Last year's Olympics is this year because of COVID. So I've been busy training for that. The WNBA is coming up. We'll be, guys, ABC on May 18th, 3 o'clock, if you want to watch. So it'll be us versus Seattle. So just check me out.
How can folks catch those games? I mean, let's say some of our viewership is all over the country, all over the globe. But for those of us in Atlanta that want to catch the Las Vegas Aces, is that correct?
Absolutely. So so the first game is on ABC, but if you look on all platforms, ESPN, social media, LV Aces is our social media. It'll show you all the scheduling, what time the national TV games are on. We have a lot of games on TV, so you might just be flipping the channel and you just might find us on there. So yeah, all the platforms have our schedule and our TV time, so you can check it out.
Well, our guests are super supportive, so I know that they won't just be flipping channels. If we tell them to watch something, they usually do. So I'm pretty excited about that, and very grateful to have you on board. We've had a few different athletes come on, but none so far, I guess, as things have started to come back. Right now, I know those that watch Camp Quarantine know I'm a giant Braves fan. We've done a show from Arlington last year during the World Series and National Championship, but things are becoming more and more back to 100%. Take me through, I guess, the day in the life of kind of you as you've been traveling and sort of as you've seen a transition, as a player in terms of the protocols and things like that for a professional organization.
Yeah, it was a tough year last year. We played in a bubble. It was in a bubble for 3 months. That was probably the hardest thing I ever had to do in my career. And just during the time of like quarantine and things like that, I was still traveling. And what I noticed in other countries was just that they don't have the resources we have. Like we could get free COVID testing anywhere. I know I had to get tested in like Spain and Istanbul, a couple places, and it was like $200, $300 just to get a simple COVID test for free here in the United States. So those are things that like we take for granted, and like in Europe, the vaccine is really slow. They're just on, like, some countries are just on 85, 65 years of age. So we've really come very far as a country with all those things, I could say, from traveling. And just on the bright side of things are getting back to normal. Stuff is going down, but prayers to India, because it's been kind of tough there. But shout out to all the celebrities and everybody who's been raising money for that. But things are looking up on the bright side. Now, I'm really excited about that. Sports are coming back. We got fans now. It's limited capacity, but I'm excited to play in front of fans again. I mean, playing in an empty gym was just like, so I'm happy for that.
Feels like you're in high school again. Otherwise, we actually had during March a friend of mine who happens to coach now the men's team for my high school, and so we had him on, and he was chatting about they were in the Final Four and things like that. And talking about playing in an empty gym, it's just very difficult and different to see. Yeah. But I got to give you props because I mean, even right there, you mentioned India. You always have such a philanthropic heart, as I mentioned. We met each other through an organization that's near and dear to me. But you do many charitable benefits and things like that. How has that been different during the last year? Or are there things on the horizon that you want to draw attention to?
Yeah, I just do a lot of things because I just feel like it's because I've traveled. I'm well traveled. I've been traveling since I was in my early 20s to countries that, just people dream of. So I've got to see different things and it broadens your mind. So you always get that feeling of, okay, I've seen what's going on. I want to give back. It's a statistic that's a true statistic. If you have $15 to your name, you're richer than 80% of the world. Only $15. So, it was just in me to want to give back. I don't even like record a lot of stuff or put out a lot of stuff I do to give back. But I've gone to Africa, did some stuff in sports. Right now, I'm more into like Africa, the Middle East, and getting more girls, and the sport is growing. Basketball is growing over there, and the girls are like, "Oh my God, I love this!" And so I'm kind of in that space right now of giving back. So right now, I'm revamping a lot of basketball courts in those countries for the girls and boys, of course, to play on and have. And I'm going to start doing some free basketball clinics just for the kids to feel inspired and know that there's an opportunity out there for them. You know, so I'm kind of in that space right now.
It's for the kids, and we're doing so much of the same here on the show. And what really excited me about having you on is much of the guests that we always try to bring aboard do inspire, sure, but they also offer the opportunity to expose. And I think that's so important.
Yeah.
I think as folks find, or are looking to find what it is that they are interested in, they don't know that. But what helps them is maybe if you don't know where you're headed, it may also help you if you think of it like a pie, right? You cut out the things that, I tried that. Basketball may not have been for me, but through that, I discovered this. So you slowly narrowing your own personal interests, and that exposure can only give you that. So to hear that you're doing this in some of these other countries and in these continents even on a large scale is not only just absolutely appreciated, but so ambitious and very much so something that I think is admirable. So what countries are currently on your docket, or where will you be visiting? And talk to us a little bit about what July is going to look like for you. They call it the 2020 Games, even though it's being held in 2021. Will you be out in Tokyo?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be there for the women's national team. Actually, we have a doubleheader coming in July here in Vegas. We'll be scrimmaging in Australia. The men will play after us. So that's going to be something fun before going over to Tokyo. So that's going to be fun. And I'm just excited for this year. We missed the Olympics. It's been a while, and we were kind of devastated last year that it didn't come about. So I know that they're not, I don't think they're allowing international guests, but you can still cheer, of course, from the TV. I think it'll be very special again. And I'm excited about stuff like that. Yeah.
So I want to shift focus a little bit. We're chatted a lot about sports. You also are a small business owner. I know you have an ice cream shop that was here in Atlanta. You want to talk a little bit about that, how that evolved or how that came to be? Was that something that was just an idea or an interest of yours that just spun about? I use the word spun there. See, like ice cream.
McCoughtry's ice cream. It was such a great brand, and people love the ice cream. We still have our social media platform up, but I had to close it because of COVID. So I'm in the process of revamping everything and bringing it back. But it was just amazing to see the smiles on people's faces when they came in. Nobody frowns when they get ice cream. That's one thing I've learned. People always smile when they have ice cream come. So that was a pleasure to be able to have that. And I've learned a lot as a business owner. It's a lot. Shout out to all the business owners out there. It's not easy. Permitting and this and employees, and I learned so much because all I did was play basketball my whole life since I was 8. But to be in the business side of things, it was just a whole new world that I learned about, and I'm grateful for the experience for once I retire. But I definitely want to bring it back. I'm trying to bring it back to Atlanta, and hopefully we'll open one in Vegas really soon. So that's the plan.
So now we talked about, I guess, the business space. Today is National Space Day. Let's talk about a different space. I'm going to pull up your Instagram here. We've got it on screen. You're at McCoughtry, McCoughtry. That's your last name. But I want to share with everybody your Instagram because you just made an announcement that I think is absolutely massive in the NFT space. Are you allowed to talk about that, or am I just putting you on the spot?
Absolutely. That's I worked with a dope artist, and I gave him some of my visions. I love space and stars. I can just sit out at night and stare at the stars all day. So this one is called the Space Sleep. I'm going to be doing a lot of NFT stuff. The NFT space and digital art space is really big right now. So I'm definitely making a collection, a different collection. So I was just kind of like launching that to let everybody know I'm getting into the space. But I'm definitely gonna be creating a whole collection of NFTs for people to just have some fun with it, and collect some dope digital art.
We've had a few people that have discussed that in the past on our show. You can go back to episodes 43, in which we chatted with a very well-known DJ who's been, incorporating some of his music and some artists that he's been collaborating with to work in the NFT space. So I'm very eager to see the way, people discuss Top Shots. Personally, I don't own any, and I'm not a huge fan of Top Shots, but I think the opportunity that's there, and for individuals like yourselves to really hone in their personal brand, to take control of that, and really benefit in whatever space that they can grapple onto. I think the images that you've already shared, I'm very excited to hear how you parlay that with your playing, with your music, and just really invigorating your brand in that capacity. And any way that I can help, I'm all for here to do. But yeah, no, I think that's very exciting that you've got that. What else do you have on the horizon? Any future trips planned? We are an outdoor show. You've got any camping planned for you out there in the trip from Vegas to Los Angeles? You certainly passed one of my favorite places, and that's Joshua Tree National Park. But you also have outside of Vegas, the Valley of Fire. You have so many just different amazing natural wonders and architecture. Do you take time out? Is that part of your work? Do you really spend time with yourself, do some meditation, go to some of these natural spaces? Is that part of your recovery? Any of your routine?
I'm big on that. I'm so big on earth and being in tune with it, learning it, loving it. And I love to travel, as you guys know. I love just nature things. So where are you taking me? I mean, you got the camper. Where are we going?
I'm going to scoop you. So, I mean, the plan is, and we'll get to this a little later in the show, but the plan is, the van is really getting close to done. We just actually took it up to your hometown. You're actually from Louisville. We wanted to, really give her a real test. I've taken her to the North Georgia mountains, which is only about 2 hours, but straight shot to Louisville is what we did last week. And we'll get into sharing some of that footage, but we went up for the Derby. She performed beautifully. Went up, I think it's 8 hours, 7 or 8 hours. The van goes a little slower. We're not pushing her at 75 or higher miles per hour. But a quick 8-hour jaunt to Louisville, which is a gorgeous space. I know you've also expressed some desire to get into some of those things up there back in your hometown too, which is very exciting. But when I
let me correct you there. I'm from Baltimore. I went to college at Louisville. Go Cards. I don't want my Baltimoreans getting all upset on me, but that's where I went to school and had the best career ever. So go Cards, Louisville coming back soon. We love you.
But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be headed out west. I'm gonna just have to shoot you a text and let you know, hey, Angel, I'm about an hour away. Pack a bag for the night. We going camping, and we're gonna scoop you and bring you back. And as long as you're okay with that, I'm gonna hold you to it.
I'm ready.
I love it. Well, before we let you go, today is actually you mentioned college and where you went to college. So we love jokes here. I'm going to ask you a question here. Why did since we're talking Space Day, why did the sun go to college? Why did the sun not go to college? Excuse me.
Okay. Why did the sun not go to college?
Why did the sun not go to college?
Because he was revolving. No.
I like that, but no, it's because he was already 1,000,000 degrees. I love that. All right, folks, you guys can find Angel on her Instagram. Give her a follow. Help her get from that 500K all the way up to 1,000,000. We know that's going to happen before the Olympics, but definitely give her a follow. She has some amazing content, working on some absolutely phenomenal philanthropic projects. We saw the NFT. This looks like just outside of Vegas. Is that where that is?
Yeah, right there, Red Rock.
Red Rocks. That's the other national park I haven't been to over there. But absolutely give her a follow. Anything you want to share before we let you go here this evening?
Just thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be on here, and I can't wait to check out Camp Quarantine. The van.
Well, it may not be Camp Quarantine anymore. Our van's name is NRVANA, so we're going to put you in the state of Nirvana for sure. NRVANA, our van has to be in there. But I can't thank you enough for being a part of
But wait, where did the name come from? Where did NRVANA come from?
What's that?
Where did you get the name NRVANA?
Oh, I'm too excited. We will be doing shows from more NRVANA. If you see it, I wish I had an image of the plate to pull up, but I've got it on screen there. NRVANA. First off, the name comes from nirvana, right? Like nirvana, the state of being in which everyone wants to attain, which is that free-flowing space to be where you are in your own like homeostasis and nirvana, but also NRVANA. Of course, we had to put van in there, but in our van, I don't know, in our van, amazing experience with Angel happened. We went to Red Rocks. In our van, a newfound friendship was formed. In our van, so it's just setting the tone and the pace. So we had to have a good name for our van, and I think Nirvana was very fitting. And it's only proper that we also got the plate, right? When the DMV has the plate for you, it was just fate and meant to be, just like how we met. So, Angel, I got to thank you again for your time. I'm so ecstatic that you could join us here on this 49th, very auspicious episode of Camp Quarantine. But looking forward to taking you up on that. I am going to shoot you a text probably in the next month and let you know I'm headed out your way and going to hold you to it. But again, folks, give Miss Angel a follow at McCoughtry over there on Instagram and keep tabs. May 18th, don't forget the Aces start their season out in Vegas.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much for your time, Angel. Really appreciate it. Angel truly is an angel. And the first time I met her was an event that we were putting on with Hustle and Hospitality. She, was a big sister, or is a big sister in the program, and just so very approachable, very down to earth, and such a humble and just exudes humility in every aspect of the things she does. So very gracious for having her on Camp Quarantine. All right, folks. As we do every single month, like I mentioned, we're all here about philanthropic causes, and May happens to be National Mental Health Month. So without further ado, I want to bring to the forefront the nonprofit that we have selected for the month of May to highlight on our program. Let me see if I can't get that. We will get to that in just a second, but if you want to help me, we'll just go ahead and jump into our next guest. We'll get that video queued up, but we encourage everybody to follow along and donate. But today, not only is National Space Day, it is not only National Don't Wear Pants Day, it is also National Tourism Day. Help me welcome our next guest all the way down in sunny Florida, a good old friend of mine from Disney, Miss Jennifer Aris. Jennifer, how you doing? Happy Friday.
I'm good. Happy Friday to you, Amarit. Thank you so much for the jump-in request here today. I appreciate it.
I know. I just, when I see the calendar, we have the National Day calendar. Many of you guys have seen it. It always just alludes to us what kind of our content is for the month. May is all these things each day, but as a month in general, it also happens to be Bike Month, Egg Month, Get Caught Reading Month. So we'll be sharing some books that we're working on, Photography Month, Salsa Month. But some of the days are so very exciting and very unique. And I wanted to bring you on today because today is National Tourism Day. Tell us a little bit about why I may have brought you up from that standpoint, please, Jen.
Absolutely. So I currently work as a travel advisor for a luxury agency called Glass Slipper Concierge. We are a platinum agency that specializes primarily in Disney destinations. So Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Adventures by Disney, Disney Cruise Line, and all of the other Disney theme parks around the world. So we help guests and families that want to plan that Walt Disney, Disney dream vacation. That is where we step in. So we are a little different in the fact that we are certainly more of a full service agency. So, people often ask, well, why would anyone even still use a travel advisor? I can just book everything online, I didn't realize you guys were still around. And what we've realized is there is so much customization that goes into planning a trip, not just for Disney, but really for anything. People really are looking for those things that are going to be unique and individual to them and their family. And so providing kind of that white glove customized service is really where we stand out. So we don't just necessarily book your trip, send you your confirmation, and tell you to have a great time. We really take an opportunity to get to know you, what is important to your family, what are those things that you're looking for, because no two Disney trips are the same and no family is the same. So everyone is going to come to a Disney destination and do something completely different. So, we will assist you with not only booking that resort reservation and transportation if needed, but helping out with, dining reservations, we customize full day park itineraries. So from the moment you step into that theme park to the moment that you leave at the end of the night, you know exactly where you're going and what you're doing. We don't send anybody in blind. So just to make sure that we are providing the absolute best possible experience for our clients. And now really more than ever, we've seen such an increase in the demand for what we do. There's been so many changes. The travel industry was completely turned, on its head over the last year. And we really have seen the value of what we do, for our clients. We're the ones that we were on the phone, making those cancellations and making those changes and recommending something else for them to go do. And, so that's kind of been a really big important piece is kind of helping them out and navigate this whole new climate, which is completely different than what it was before. I mean, it's a whole different ballgame. And getting people that actually are in the industry and know what they're doing, because they do this for a career and not just something on the side or for fun. We really can devote a lot of time as to what we do to make sure that we're giving our clients the best vacation possible, especially now more than ever, because people need a vacation more than I think that they ever have in the past, for sure.
Without a doubt. I think one of the biggest challenges is when somebody thinks about, planning a Disney vacation, you literally put all your eggs in that basket. And I mean, it is a monumental moment and memory that certainly families make, but really it's for the kids, right? So what did you find and what kinds of things have you guys been able to do, you specifically with your company, I guess, for those that made those reservations, let's say last year, had their dreams dashed, for lack of a better word? And what kind of I know one of the things that you used to work when we knew each other was the guest services and relations at Magic Kingdom. And first off, that was the place to not only be, but the place to be screamed at, to be stepped on, to be really you get the barrage of everything because you're that first point of contact. And so for somebody who's a travel advisor now, I think you step into that role in the same capacity. So talk to me about how you've been able to do some kind of service recovery or ways that you've been able to maintain that magic, because so much of what Disney is that.
Absolutely. So as you said, that's kind of where I got my start. Prior to having the opportunity to come work for such an amazing agency, I spent about 15 years working for Walt Disney across a variety of roles. And you really do learn a lot about the customer service aspect, listening to what the client wants, what if they're mad, what are they actually upset about, and really being able to make sure that you're delivering on that. And for the kids, it's Disney. They love Disney. And big piece with everything that was unfortunate last year is it is such a big vacation. This is the type of destination that they will plan and save for years. And so to have, those few months where Disney was not open, we were lucky enough here in Florida for World to reopen in July. So we've been able to bring families back, at least here to Orlando. California just opened on April 30th to California residents. So I know that's been a big, huge win that we've been able to assist those California residents that want to go, that are trying to navigate this new field. But as far as the kids, and I think the big thing that people were concerned with is, are my kids going to miss something? With the different protocols and some of the changes that they've had to roll out with the parks, because they can't necessarily run everything exactly the way that it used to be before things closed, is my kid going to miss out on an experience? And Disney has done such an amazing job about really keeping that magic there. You walk into the Magic Kingdom and you're still in the Magic Kingdom. You're still going to hear the music. You're still going to see the characters. They're still present. You're seeing them in a different capacity because of the proximity, restrictions that they have a little bit when it comes to some of the entertainment. But, they're still putting the smiles on the faces. You're still seeing that little kid that sees Mickey, go down Main Street on a float. And, for the parents, I think that's the thing, is they want to make sure that they're still giving their child that same Disney experience. And they really are. And that's what I think has been such an amazing job that Disney has done, is they've made the modifications, and they have done an amazing job with keeping the magic, but also providing those safety elements, which is huge, as for Disney. If anyone's going to do it right, Disney's going to do it right, and ensuring that guests feel safe, that guests still feel that they are getting the experience. And I mean, I have been dozens of times, since they've reopened, and never once did I feel like, this really this doesn't feel like Disney to me. It still feels like Disney. You still get it all. It's just different for now.
So you've got your URL up on the screen over there, or sorry, the site up on the screen over there. That's glassslipperconcierge.com. I think that's probably the best way folks can get in contact you if they were interested. That's 3 S's, glassslipperconcierge.com. When you told me that, I had to make sure just so I didn't get it wrong.
There's a lot of S's in there.
But it's up on the screen right there for everyone who's interested. But yeah, you work on the cruise line, on land, on world. How about some of the international destinations? Where do those stand? I've been privileged to go to Disneyland Paris actually before the pandemic in 2019, and I mean, just so phenomenal. I remember how much you and I'm sure you remember Matt used to rave about going to the castle, the Pink Castle, and how great that was.
Matt loved that castle more than anything, and I love it. But yes, so we do with the international destinations as well. So, as far as Disneyland Paris, Shanghai, Hong Kong, Tokyo, we do those. I mean, obviously, when it comes to some of those international destinations, it's a little bit different now just because of everything that's going on with different requirements for, U.S. citizens traveling internationally. So that is another big piece why, someone like myself and my colleagues for Glass Slipper can really assist, because there are so many things that you have to be aware of now. You can't just say, I'm going to book a plane ticket and go to this country and go have a vacation. There are so many things that you need to know and make sure that you are planning. And so that's really where it's been extremely helpful for us to kind of dive in and say that we know this, we have the contacts, we have the relationships. Adventures by Disney is another amazing product that I've realized that a lot of people don't really know about. And that's kind of Disney's answer to international and domestic family group travel. So there are plenty of companies out there that offer those types of trips. But Disney being Disney, they have really geared them towards families, and they have made them such an immersive cultural experience that you're not just traveling in a group of people and kind of just being shifted, from one place to the next. I don't even know if you knew about this, Amber. Did you know that I was a guide for them for a few years? I'm trying to even remember if you even.
I didn't, but come on, that's a tie into the adventure side. I want to hear more about that. That's all camping all the way. I thought the only thing Disney had for camping was like Fort Wilderness.
No, they do trips. They have the domestic ones. They do an Arizona, Utah trip. They do Montana, Wyoming. They go up into Canada. They were doing Alaska. They do Southern California. There's so many different trips domestic. And then we're on, I think, pretty much every single continent. We run trips in Australia, Europe, Africa. I've got clients that are actually going to the Galapagos in December and doing the trip in the Galapagos Islands. So it's not just the parks, so if you're somebody that says, my kids are kind of out of that whole park thing. They're not really into the whole Mickey Princess stuff anymore, but you're still looking for that Disney quality of service and that Disney immersive experience. Adventures by Disney takes that to the whole next level with kind of doing that family group travel where you're getting a lot of those special touches that only Disney really can provide, but you're doing it on a global scale. And it's such an amazing thing to kind of immerse these people into these different cultures with the storytelling. That's the other big piece that Disney does, is that storytelling aspect is so huge, and they can take that and turn it into large scale group travel.
Well, you can tell that it's obviously left its mark on you because you're just a fantastic storyteller in and of itself. I'd love to let you share all about that, and I hope folks will find you at Up in the Airs Travel. I've got your Instagram up on screen as well right now. So not only can they go to the Glass Slipper Concierge, but I encourage folks to give Jen a follow. Up in the Airs Travel over there. She's got plenty of Disney pictures. There's your wonderful energy and smiling face that I do miss so severely. In the rain, of course. That's just very standard for any Disney adventure, I feel like. But yeah, Up in the Airs Travel. Before I let you go, I got to ask you, it is Space Day, right? So, I'm all about humor all the time, but we got to ask, why did Mickey Mouse go to outer space?
He wanted to see Pluto.
You got it. I was hoping you'd get it.
You can take so much out of Disney, but
I know. Well, I'm excited because our next guest has some Disney ties too. He's actually been on Camp Quarantine, so I hope you guys will be stick around and stay tuned. Very special, little bit to close out our show. But Jen, thank you so very much for being a part. And last minute, me asking you to be on, I was just like, oh, there's one person I really need to get on today because it's National Tourism Day. And thank you so much for stepping up to the plate. I hope you and I get to connect and see each other here real soon, whether it be down in Orlando or elsewhere. I know our paths always end up crossing in different places. So appreciate you being a great friend and for being such a wonderful part and addition to today's 49th show. So anything else you'd like to share with our audience before we let you go?
No, I mean, I just, the big thing that I can say is, when it comes to travel and wanting to get back out there and take those vacations is, if you're not someone that's ever really used a travel professional in the past to consider it, most of us are, this is what we do. This is our living, and this is how we provide for our families, and we love sharing our experiences and stuff with other families. So, just kind of consider giving one of us a go when you want to try to plan that next vacation, because it helps. We appreciate it. And you can contact it right on our website. If you go right to that Glass Slipper website, there's a contact us button in there. You can just send in a request form. One of us will reach out to you same day and help you start planning that trip.
Jen, thanks so much. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your
You're very welcome.
Friday
Absolutely.
Look at that. For those of you that want to get in contact with Jen, glassslipperconcierge.com. I always mess up the screen over here. Okay, glassslipperconcierge.com. But again, I want to go back to the reason for our show each and every month is to raise awareness, and May happens to be National Mental Health Awareness Month. And without further ado, I'd like to share a little bit more information about the nonprofit organization we've selected for this month.
Mental health, like physical health, is something we all have. When we talk about mental health, it's usually about depression, anxiety, and thoughts of suicide. But what's not said is that it affects us all. Think of our mind like a bottle of soda. Life shakes us up. And inside, the pressure builds. That pressure is looking for somewhere to go. And if we don't release it, it grows. It grows to the point where we can't enjoy the things we used to, can't leave the house or even get out of bed. You have to find moments to open up and release it. It can be as small as sitting still and taking a deep breath. When we talk to each other about what's bothering us, the cap comes off and pressure releases. Forget the stigma. All of us need to talk about our mental health. Start the conversation with hope for the day. We are in this together.
What a wonderful video. I chose that one because it may have been from October. There's actually one day in October that is Mental Health Awareness Day, but May happens to be Mental Health Awareness Month. So all throughout the next two episodes, we will be featuring this organization, and that is Hope for the Day. They have been selected by us, and really their mission is it's okay to not be okay, as you see from that video. So I think one of the things that they talked about over there was really being with your breath, and certainly meditation and mindfulness, and those are things that we have had guests on throughout our program in the last year, and encouraged folks to do so. If it's not something that you've made a part of your daily practice or routine, we encourage you to do so. And I'm so excited for our next guest, which we'll bring up, who chats to that as well. But everybody, we encourage to go to HFTD, that is hopefortheday.org. And if you click there, donate in the top right, you will be prompted. Oh, is it not being able to do it? Let's try that one more time. You'll be prompted with ways that you can actually assist. And, one thing that I chose them for was their page is really wonderful because, they're encouraging folks not only to donate financially, but there's other opportunities for you to be able to contribute. And I think that's just so vital and so important right now because, a lot of people are looking for ways to educate, to share, be an ambassador or find other ways to have impact beyond strictly giving financial dollars. So because May is Mental Health Awareness Month, we appreciate Hope for the Day and partnering with us in Camp Quarantine in doing so. All right, well, we're coming up towards the end of the show, but we're going to do things a little bit differently. Normally, we end with our State of Nirvana, but we went on a trip, and so we want to share that, but we're going to end with something special and a repeat guest. So I'm not just talking him up. I'm hoping you guys stick around, and I'm looking forward to this just as much as me. But without further ado, we're going to just break free a little bit and share The state of Nirvana. So if you guys have been watching, we bought a Sprinter van that we are actively converting to a camper right now. Here's a little bit of how far we've come along. When we got her in August, we got the plate there. NRVANA Camp Quarantine has now evolved to sharing a lot of that progress, but it is a 05 Sprinter van. We went ahead and installed a roof fan on there, so it's able to store all the firewood. We've had plenty of opportunities to go to Lowe's, which has become my favorite store. We are now on trip 26 to the hardware store and probably still have 2 more weeks to go. You can see the planning for our solar. Our solar is now on the roof. We've got a sunroof in there too. But now, more than anything else, before this road trip, when we went to the Derby, I wanted to ensure that the bed was in place. So very exciting. Our show was on the road. We took it in outside the comfort suites. Go back and take a look at episode 48. We had some absolutely phenomenal guests, but we also went ahead and installed the bed, as you can see here, using a 6-inch memory foam mattress. Got it in place, some sliding hardware there. These are beams and slats from IKEA. So standard pieces, really made it an affordable solution and very strong. But the look that we're going for is kind of from the cabin that we visited from last Tuesday. And that's going to be cedar throughout, the bed horizontal like that. This is just, like I said, a cabin, but condensing all of that kind of into the 90 square feet that we've got in the van. Really the desire is in 2 weeks to take her on the road. So all the tools are out. The garage actually has been cleaned. But still working at it. So we're really excited. Next week will kind of be our final reveal. But we've got a light on the back now. You can see solar has been installed. So just all kinds of fun progress has been made. Had a lot of friends help me. Shout out to CrossFit Entertainment and Reggie, another buddy of mine, Jason, who's been on the show helping me with the solar. Really, all hands are coming on deck, and I'm very excited to share that with you. If you guys want to see full build videos, more information and things like that, visit our Instagram at campquarantine.co, as well as our patreon.com/campq. We have all the full build videos that'll be on there step by step. So if you guys want to encourage you to go out and experience nature and build this yourself, you absolutely can with your 2 hands. So that's kind of our state of Nirvana. We wanted to make it brief today because we want to end with a repeat Camp Quarantine guest. But as we talk about working on a project, I got one more space joke for you since it's National Space Day. Why did the rocket scientist stop working on his project? Anyone? Why did the rocket scientist stop working on the project? Well, because he had a fear of commitment. Without further ado, help me welcome a much better comedian, healer, and somebody who is early morning in the future. Saturday morning down south in Australia. Give a warm Camp Quarantine welcome back to none other than the Mind Ninja, Mr. Mike Bennett. Mike, happy Friday here. Happy Saturday where you're at. How are you doing?
Yeah, check. Kia ora, brother. Yes, I'm doing very well, thanks. Very well down here in Australia, bro.
Now, we had you on the show, I want to say in like May of last year. So it's been a year since we have seen each other. And I think it's absolutely just so phenomenal the things you've done. And I wanted to have you on because, yes, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, but it also happens to be Space Day. If you see behind you, this guy lives in a beautiful space state of mind. I'm going to let you talk about the way things have changed since your last time on the show. And then I understand you're going to take us through a little something special.
Yeah, cheers. Kia ora, bro. Thanks, man. Wow, that's, yeah, it just doesn't seem like a year ago, does it, man? It's been absolutely crazy year. So I think last time I saw you, I was going through a breakup from my wife on January the 1st last year. And yeah, it was just me and my flute on the road. Remember Joan? Yeah. So this was my go-to sort of healing,
You actually played for us from the beach in Brisbane, and somehow there was connection over there. So I really appreciated that. It was very special. For those of you that are interested, go back and watch in May. I'll pull up the exact episode here in a bit. But because it's Space Day, and you mentioned this, I too am going through some troubles of my own. But why I gotta keep things light here before we start. Why did the astronaut break up with his girlfriend?
I don't know. Too many Klingons on Uranus.
I'm not even going to touch that. Because she needed some space. Anyways, go on.
There you go. Sorry, man. I had to take it there.
No, that's okay. Many times.
Yeah, sorry to hear about that, to what you're going through as well. It is trying times, and there's been a massive shift in energy, and the vibration of the whole planet is just sending people in different directions. And it was, it's been kind of crazy for a whole year, and now we're in the dawn of Aquarius, and it's still the same. The shifts and the changes are still happening. And what I've found is a lot of healers and people in a conscious mindset are going through quite a bit of pain at the moment because of the shifts that are happening, because they're so in touch and in tune with their mind and their heart, and their whole body's feeling all sorts of different things. It's kind of weird and wild, So, yeah.
Well, they say May 5th certainly was Cinco de Mayo, but if you think about angel numbers, we had an angel earlier on our show today. But Wednesday was 5/5, 2021. 2 + 0 + 2 + 1 is 5. So it was another 5, 555, 555. And they say that it opened a portal.
Yeah. There's been many opening, man. It was, man, since the last time I saw you. So what happened with me? So for 5 months after January the 1st, you knew that I was wandering around. I got a van as well that has a bed in the back. It hasn't got solar power and all that gizmos that you've got. It looks amazing, brother. It looks amazing.
Thank you. I mean, it's been inspired by so many, and to hear that you have a van is no coincidence for sure. I think you subscribe to that, lifestyle and like I said, that space in your head. And I really think that there's something to be said about, nomads, digital nomads, those are out there that are healers and are happy to share the energy that you are with us right now. But, trading 4 walls for wheels, I think, is just something that's so magical in and of itself.
Oh, it's beautiful, man. You could just go to untapped places and in the bush. And I just like parking up in the bush and finding a stream. I always like playing to water. That's why I've got this big water feature behind me. I was in a different setting this morning when I tested this with you. I was downstairs in our where I do all my sound healings now. Yeah, I'm jumping forward because I'm now a certified sound healer. So last year it was amazing. But we've got a card reader in downstairs, and I'm now at Muse Crystals and Mystical Gifts. It's kind of wild. So I went into incredible deep soul searching after my breakup, and so I was getting up at like 4:30 every morning. I was doing cold shower therapy, the Wim Hof cold shower therapy. And then I was jumping on a bike, and I was doing anywhere from 32 miles to 60 miles a morning, just exercising, getting my mind, getting my breath. And that was along the ocean as well, taking my flute and playing out to the ocean with intention. So I was dropping in, passing out really cool vibrations at 432 hertz, which is the frequency of love and the frequency of nature. And what I found out from Dr. Emoto's study on water, once again, is that the water absorbs powerful and really amazing energy, and it stores bad energy as well. But what we've got to do is we've got to give it good energy. And I like playing to water because the water absorbs the beautiful frequency and the vibrations. And then as water does, it evaporates, goes into the clouds. And then when it rains, it just rains love, my friends. So my music's coming all over the world and raining on you guys as well, man. So I did that, and for about 5 months, I was really tapping into like, what do I want? Who do I want to be, and who do I want to be around? What was my proximity? That was one of my major ones, because, for many years I sank into depression, and alcohol and drugs were my medicine of choice, and so I had to really step back from that and just going to go, no, that's not what I wanted anymore, because I didn't like the person that I was on alcohol. And I think that was a major thing that sort of broke off quite a few relationships, because you turn into somebody else but I was only having the alcohol so I could curb the voices in my head that were contemplating suicide. It was kind of a catch-22, wild and crazy situation going on. But I tapped right into myself in that, and then just got myself physically and mentally fit, got off the alcohol, and then tapped into the love and the lifestyle that I wanted. And it was kind of wild. I actually did a couple of ayahuasca trips and sank into medicine with grandmother Earth, up here in Queensland and Brisbane. And got some really cool downloads, you know, just happening when you're sinking into like-minded, conscious people right out in the bush, and the things that were happening and the stuff that was coming to me was just absolutely beautiful and cleansing and clearing, which was kind of cool when you go really deep into your mind. So what I've learned with the Mind Ninja Academy, exactly what you're showing up there, my Mind Ninja Academy, that because my book, I bounce all over the place at the moment, aren't I? My book's in its final stages at the moment, Become a Mind Ninja. So this is my 62,000 word book, Become a Mind Ninja, discover how to control the monkey mind, defeat depression, and live a life of purpose. So the funny thing, like last year when I was going through the breakup, I had to go through all the monkeys. Oh, cheers. Well, thanks for putting that up. I had to go through all the monkeys to really get in touch with all my emotions. See, I couldn't work out what all the chatter was in my head, and I tried to research that, and people were talking, and the monks were talking about the monkey mind. So I saw there was a Chimp Paradox and the Gorilla Mindset were two wonderful books, but they were still only addressed one monkey. And I just went, no, I've got too many monkeys in here. So I broke the monkey mind down into 7 different monkeys, and these are the ones that usually control us most of the time. The ego-based monkeys: fear, anger, grief, critic, jealous, and victim. These are the 6 major ego monkeys that control us from the mind. And the only monkey that's not ego-based is gratitude. So the gratitude monkey. So I had to tap into all those different monkeys. The fear of being alone, and, you know, jealous of like seeing other couples together when you're going through a breakup, and then you're going through the grief as well. So I was trying to edit my book while reading my own words, just going to go, okay, stay true. So I didn't sink into depression again. I've cured myself of that because of the way that I've done it, the way I've written the book. But I really sank into myself, and I worked out that it's all flow, brother. So it's all about water. And what I like is I did a lot of research, and my go-to guy is Bruce Lee, and one of his favorite sayings is, "Be water, my friend." And knowing that we are 70% water, our whole body is 70% water, and our brain is 80% water, we must come from a place of flow. Yeah.
Flow.
And you know, the trouble last year, and still happening for a few people, is if you come off from a mindset of just working off the mind, you can be swayed, manipulated, people gaslighting you, NLP, people using NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, to get you to do what they want, you know, and that's the whole mask wearing and vaccines and all this sort of stuff that is happening. I'm not going to go there or touch that, but you could be really spinning out in your head, and that can cause stress, really ignites the cortisol going through the vagus nerve, and you can just come from a place of stress, anxiety, and sink into depression. And then if you're working off your heart, you know, you can be heartbroken, and that's what happened with the quarantine and COVID and stuff. You couldn't see people, you couldn't travel, people were in lockdown, and a lot of families didn't see their kids or their grandkids, you know, they couldn't see that, and so they'd come from a really sad space where they were getting stress and depression and anxiety as well. So what we have to do is connect the mind and the heart, right, brother? All right, so that's like yin and yang in that sign that you were showing, the Mind Ninja Academy. I've got them in the middle there. So the mind and the heart, if you bring that to the middle, all right, so what we're trying to do, brother, is find what? Balance. Yeah. So we're trying to find the balance point. And what I like is the balance point from the mind and the heart is the throat, brother. So that's the throat chakra. And then what I love about that is it's a place of truth. Yeah. So it's true. You're trying to find the truth of what people are saying to you, what marketing and media are trying to say to you, and what you're actually trying to say to yourself. Because if we take on so much of the marketing and the media and the news and the gossip and the conspiracy theories, we take on all that, then we start gaslighting ourselves. And this is what we've got to be really careful of. So we've got to tap into ourselves, mind, body, and soul, and just work out truth, you know. The first thing you can learn is it fake or fact in your mind. But once you've got balance, brother, that's what we're looking for, yeah. So I sank into that. I sank into truth to myself and just wanted to find pure unconditional love. And then I walked into a I walked into we'd heard about a crystal shop, all right? A friend of mine heard about a crystal shop that we had, you know, he says, oh, you got to go there. It's the best crystal shop in the world. It's amazing, you know. And we're driving past and we're looking for another venue, all right, where I could set up my Mind Ninja Academy and put on workshops, all right? This was my mindset at about, it was June last year. I really wanted to get some workshops so I could help people transform and change their lives through the way they think about themselves and the life around them. And we driving past one day and we saw the shop news. I go, there's that crystal shop. There's the crystal shop. Let's go. We've got to go in. So we went into this crystal shop, brother, and I was looking around and walking down this driveway of greenery. It was amazing. And then into the space, it was called the retreat, and it was all outside, inside, but this outside area was beautiful. Buddhas around the place, beautiful trees, lovely crystals. Then you walk into the shop and it was mind-blowing, right? So I looked around the crystals, and then I saw this key ring, right? Because I wanted to get a new key ring I wanted to get rid of the old key ring that I had because it was just triggering me with some memories that I had. So I wanted to get a new key ring. And as I grabbed the key ring and pulled it up to have a look at it, the lady that had her back to me turned around and we connected eyes. And it was just like, it was like an electric shock. It was crazy, right? And then I went out into the retreat, and then I saw this massive, beautiful, big Indian headdress. And I went, oh, wow, that's amazing. And then I went in there, I said, excuse me, are you the owner? She said, yes, I am. I said, may I please wear that Indian headdress? Because I have a flute in the car, and I wouldn't mind playing it in your little sanctuary over there with the Indian headdress on. I think it'd be kind of cool because this is Native American Indian Lakota love flute. She said, yeah, sure. So I got a friend of mine, the friend that was with me, to video it, and the lady who I asked was the owner of the place, and so she videoed me as well. And we took a photo together on that day. I said, she goes, can we have a photo? I said, yeah, sure. Then I said, how's this, right? So this is the power of intention. And if you really set in your mind and your heart what you want, you can manifest anything if you paint the picture big enough in your head. It's crazy. So I says, this is a beautiful space in here. I says, I'm looking for a place where I could do my workshops for my Ninja Academy. So I told her all about that. She says, yeah, well, we have this space open for anybody in the community that is going to serve the community for a better and higher purpose. And I went, fantastic. This is on the Saturday. I says, I'll come and see you on Tuesday, and I'll give you a proposal, tell you what it's all about and what the Mind Ninja Academy is about. She goes, yeah, sure. So it comes Tuesday, 9:30 in the morning, and I showed her the proposal, and she was keen. She loved it. So cut a long story short, 9:30 in the morning, I went home at 11:30 that night after we had the meeting. Then I says, it's getting, lunchtime. I'll take you to lunch. Then she took me to a labyrinth with a massive, big rose quartz crystal. It must have been about 6 feet high, massive in the middle. So we walked that. I played the flute while she was walking this labyrinth, and I did some illusions, some card illusions. She goes, you got to see my nephew. He's 7. He'd love this. And so we wound up going to her sister's place and seeing the nephews. And man, and I couldn't sleep that night. It was just electric, amazing. Couldn't take my eyes off her. And then the next day I rang her up and says, what are you doing? She goes, I'm unpacking some crystals. I said, would you mind if I come and give you a hand? She goes, I'm always open to people giving me a hand, unpacking crystals and sorting out stuff. And then I went round and I gave her a hand with that, and I haven't left. I haven't left, brother. So that's how things sort of changed for me. And so since then, I have done 16 Mind Ninja Academy half-day workshops and 2 10-hour full-day Mind Ninja Academy immersions, and changed the lives of many, many people because of that one intention of what I was after, brother. So, yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Absolutely incredible. And now you have a crystal healing store that you showed me a little bit earlier. I don't know if you're at that location right now, but I mean, you have walls and walls of stones and stories, I'm sure, that go along with each and every one of them. You mentioned a few things that tie in too. I didn't even know, but the month of May also happens to be National Bike Month that I mentioned. So to hear that, that therapy kind of helped you too as you cycle along is just absolutely phenomenal. And then it also happens to be Read a Book Month. So, as folks can follow abreast with you there at the mindninja.com or at the Mind Ninja and the mindninjaacademy.com. They can purchase your book and find more about you. But did you want to take us through something this evening?
Yeah, sure, brother. Because during last year as well, because I was just playing the flute. That's been my go-to instrument for about 4 years now. But in this last year, I became a sound healer. In this last year, I made my own medicine drum, brother. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. I actually made my own didge about 4 weeks ago. 4 weeks ago as well, just learning how to circular breathe with a didge. But yeah, I'm gonna send you off with a bit of sound healing, yeah. And if anybody would like to check out Muse and the page, it's Muse Crystals and Mystical Gifts. All right, so that's the website and our Facebook page. So yeah, brother. All right, okay. And my hand pan. This is my new hand pan that I got for Christmas as well.
Can I ask you a quick question, Mike?
Sure, brother.
Where you were at before, where we tested earlier, I was able to get your video maybe a little clearer. I would love for folks to be able to see you with the handpan too, which because it's such a magical instrument. Are you by chance able to, maybe take us somewhere perhaps closer to your Wi-Fi? I want to make sure we can hear you. We can hear you just fine. But you're just kind of a still image here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, I've got stuff set up, and the reason I had
No
to
worries,
move
no
is
worries. It's totally fine. So what I'm
card
gonna do
reader.
is
Let me just open the door. This opening the door may help. I'm not sure. Is that I don't know? Just open the door. I know there's a router just outside there. Is that better at all, or?
That's a little better. Yeah, it's still a little choppy, but nevertheless, we can definitely see the handpan now. It was frozen for a second, but yeah, no, please continue. Sorry to interrupt.
Sorry, brother. Yeah, cool. So I've been learning. I've got my crystal chakra bowls and stuff. So I'm gonna sink you into a little bit of sound healing, brother. And so the vibrations is absolutely amazing. So how much time now? But I'm going way over time, aren't I?
It's totally all right. I'm enjoying every minute of it. Maybe another 5, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. Well, I better sink in. I'd like to give them some of the healing. I've got a couple of new flutes here. So this is my drone. All right. So I'm gonna start off with a little bit of drone flute. I may give you a touch of the didge. And so as people are listening now, it's about the breath, and that's in my book is monkey juggling. That's going to send you into calm balance. So feel free to take a nice big deep breath in, big deep breath in through your nose and then just out through your mouth. And as we sink into some really cool vibrations here. I want you to tap into your third eye now and use your imagination, yeah? Your imagination is where all your dreams happen, yeah? Where you can manifest anything. So long as when you close your eyes, you look up into your forehead here and you really paint the pictures of the things that you want and the person you intend to become. I know the dominating thoughts in my mind will eventually transform themselves into outward physical action, gradually transforming themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I shall concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby giving my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Sink into your heart now and think of the person that you intend to become. because I am more than physical matter. Gotta share this. It's always trying to sink into your mind and your heart together, bring them into balance with truth. Be kind to yourself, and always ask yourself questions. Are these thoughts fake or facts? Be kind to yourself, my friends. I'm just learning this dig, by the way, so please bear with me. But being that it's America, this is Australian.
This array of instruments was just so unexpected. I appreciate it. Please continue.
Might leave that ditch right there. So thank you very much for having me, brother. I appreciate it. I hope that was all right. You can get onto my Sounds for the Soul page where I'll be putting up a lot more sort of healings and stuff.
How can folks follow along and find you? I know you have a Prana Fest that's coming up next month. You want to briefly just share that and where folks can, I guess.
Yeah, Prana Fest. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So that's up on the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, and that's on the 4th, 5th, and 6th of June. Man, I'm just losing track of days and months, man. It's just going so fast, isn't it? So that's going to be amazing, with amazing conscious facilitators to help you with your mind, your body, and your spirit. There's going to be lots of music, lots of bare feet dancing and rhythmic movement and tapping in and grounding and massive fire pits where we can share and burn and release stuff. And I'll be doing some conscious comedy, which is going to be very cool. Plus I'll be doing my workshops on there and teaching people how they can dress and tap into the monkey mind so they can defeat depression. And I'll be doing some of my instruments as well. But you can also find me on Michael Bennett. That's my Facebook page as well, Michael Bennett, and Sounds for the Soul. That's SOUNDZ for the Soul, Sounds for the Soul, which is where I do a lot of my music and practicing and sharing my journey with everybody. And michaelbennett.com.au is my website, my major website, michaelbennett.com.au, which is mind, body, and soul. So it's PT for the mind, personal training for the mind, belly laughs for the body, and sounds for the soul.
So very grateful to have you, Mike. Thank you so much for being a repeat and return Camp Quarantine guest. I hope you will tune in next Friday for our final Camp Quarantine episode, Camp Quarantine 50, before we transition into bigger things. I hope you know that you have a home here in the States anytime you wish to come. We have sound bowls here too for those that have missed it in the past. Usually every Camp Quarantine we started with some mindfulness and some wellness, whether it be yoga or the sound bowl as well. So to finish with you here today was just so very special and so very grateful for you spending the time with us here. I wish I could make my way to Australia in June. If I didn't have prior commitments, I would absolutely be there for Prana Fest. But because you're a comedian and we want to leave people on a high note here, I got one more space joke for you because it's National Space Day. What does an astronaut call his ex from space? This is an easy one.
Is it? Man, you're gonna have to give it to me, brother.
Elon Musk, man, he's going to be on SNL tomorrow. What do you call your ex from space? SpaceX, of course. Anyways,
there you go.
For those of you that have been tuning in too, we've talked a lot about crypto. Buy your Dogecoin before tomorrow. Watch it go to the moon when Elon hits SNL tomorrow. Sunday also happens to be Mother's Day, so I encourage all of you to spend some time with mother. And if your mother directly, your maternal mother may not be around, spend some time outdoors and enjoy, just as Michael suggested, spending time with Mother Earth. Folks, That's our show today. Michael, thank you so much. I hope to catch up with you soon. Again, proper. We'll chat offline. I think you said a lot of things there that I'd love to tap into, but thank you so much for sharing your energy and your sound with us and closing out this 49th episode. Such a joy to have another repeat guest, but we have another show in store for you. It's going to be just as exciting, just as action-packed, with a whole slew of guests that you've seen before maybe on our show, but we're happy to welcome back and all new ones. Folks, please continue to stay positive and test negative. We appreciate you spending your Friday with us. I'm sorry we went a little over today, but I'm also not sorry. But you guys enjoy your weekends. Say hey to your moms and be good to one another. We'll catch you on next week's Camp Quarantine, Friday, 7 p.m., our final show, the 50th. Friday, May 14th, we'll be out and about. The van will be in some amazing location. Don't want to ruin that for you yet, but the surprise will be worth tuning in for. Without further ado, take care, y'all, and we will catch you next week. Thanks for tuning in.